Wait, this isn't the right color, though.
Hello, folks. Let's drop all my frames to start. That is usually how this works. And we're slowly getting there. Dropping even more frames. And I think we're good. Hello, everybody. Oh, nope, we're not good. Hang on. Oh my gosh. I really need to talk to Spectrum, but probably not going to do it before the holidays.
Alright, cool. So there's a white crate on center point.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Let me look at fog, because I want to.
Even more drop frames.
We want lots of visibility. I don't know what the thickness is about.
I mean, we could just skip it, too. If we think it's going to be a problem.
I mean, yeah, it might screw up the show.
Yeah, let's just
do that, and I'll experiment with it offline.
Okay.
I am curious, though. I think it could be pretty cool. All right. Speaking of which, what time of mission? Yeah.
Can we just not drop frames? Can we just not? It's one of those nights, dude. We'll see if I can stay connected to your server. Oh, it sucks.
Okay. Well, hopefully you can.
Yeah. Jeez, it's just dropping constantly. My strat is going to be if I drop out, kill the stream and come back in, because that's worked in the past. But I'm dropping 4 to 5 seconds of frames every 3 to 4 seconds.
Got it. That's if you. Alrighty. Okay. Save this guy. And then I will start a server.
Alright.
Multiplayer. New server. Falkland Blue Dynamic. Let's just make sure it's what I want. There it is. Server is starting.
Okay. Let me join it. Jeez.
Yep, server's up.
Cool.
Oh, gosh.
Hmm?
Oh, I spectated and it took me to my carrier, which looks great. But I don't want to do that.
This is awful. Currently dropping a quarter of the frames.
That sucks.
Alright. I'm in. Let's do a quick briefing.
Yeah, I'm in as well. Let's brief.
Cool. Alright, this is show number 2, the Saturday show from Puerto Natales.
Puerto Natales.
It's going to be a right turn onto Alpha, and then a further right turn to back taxi onto the runway, we'll do a covered wagon split as we turn onto the runway. We'll be referencing 25 knots. At which point, as we approach the end of the runway, I will call line abreast, and then I'll call standby turnaround for lineup, and then I'll do coming right, and then we'll line up for the section takeoff maneuver.
Mm-hmm. I will try to get a little ahead of you so we can do a turn like at the same time.
A coordinated turn? All right.
Yeah. That's on me.
Cool. Okay. Then I will actually release you instead of calling you to go line abreast.
Cool.
Then we'll do, okay, so then we'll do a coordinated turn to line up for the section takeoff maneuver. After the section takeoff maneuver, it's the show as standard brief, right turn out of the section out of the delta breakout for a left pitch or brake to land. The stagger will be left. We'll do a left covered wagon to go well clear on alpha for individual right 45s into chocks.
Roger.
Does that make sense to you?
Left turn on alpha for right 45s into chocks.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay. These are hot start. Interesting.
Oh, that's because this is another old news file.
All right.
Yeah.
Do what you need.
Okay, yeah. Keep briefing. I'll fix it real quick.
Okay.
The server's going to close down.
Okay. All right. I think that's it.
Oh.
For the briefing. Any questions before or notes before we go into goals for the show?
I don't believe so.
All right. Goals for the show. Clearly my internet is super unstable tonight, which is unfortunate. So, my goal for the show is to not think about that as much as possible and to fly safe and consistent. And focus on my focus maneuver is going to be the inverted tuckover roll to try and get the lineup for that. Try and get the hide the jet for that better.
Right. My brain is trying to update this Ms. file, and I am just going to close it and then think about what my goal for the show is, because I'm trying to think of what I screwed up last time. I honestly don't remember. I should write these down. The goal for the show for tonight will just be good lineups for maneuvers that I lead, particularly predictable, consistent rollouts.
All right. Anything else before I switch inputs?
No.
All right. We're ready to break. I'm going to switch inputs.
I'm going to start the server. Loud clear. Server's up. Oh, this is good.
What?
There is indeed a crate.
Cool.
Though my jet is not facing the direction it should be, so hopefully that fixes when the server starts. I literally didn't do anything but change it to cold start, so this will be interesting.
Yeah, I'm also facing the wrong way. So this will just be an interesting taxi out, but we'll be okay.
All right, cool. Ready to start?
No.
All right.
I need to adjust my seating position. All right. I am ready to start.
All right. Unpausing in 3, 2, 1, mark.
My in-sim volume is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Performance is worse this patch. But then again, I'm running on the ragged edge, so that's no surprise.
Gosh, they really did a lot with the textures on this map. It looks so good.
It does. That's an interesting hitch. Alright, stand by. Let me know when you're ready for startup.
Ready for start?
Battery on. APU on. Standby canopy.
Leb.
3, 2, 1, mark. Stand by. Right engine crank.
Leb.
And 3, 2, 1, mark. Stand by. Right engine forward.
Leb. Uh-oh, head tracking.
And 3, 2, 1, mark. Stand by. Left engine crank.
Leb.
I think the goal for the show is going to be to focus for both of us.
Yeah.
Too many problems all at once.
More money, more problems.
Funny how that works. Left engine crank
Yeah.
in. 3, 2, 1, mark. Stand by. Left engine forward. I think part of the problem is I'm staring at a 4K texture most of the time. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Stand by. FCS.
Go for FCS.
Alright, in 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
Leb, same.
Trace FCS is go.
Leb FCS is also go.
Speed brake. Oh, that's fun. Left it from our A4 flight.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. I enjoyed that.
That was fun. I agree. Focus, Lindgren.
Focus, dude. Alright, IFA is holding DTC.
Chariot's IFA is holding a DTC.
Oh, good. DTC's working. I was like,
You know what's funny? DTC is just purely a macro program.
It wasn't that it wouldn't work. It was like, did I actually open it?
Yeah, no, I know.
Did I select everything?
DTC can
That's up to you. Come on.
Chariot's up to you, come on. Discord check.
Check.
Take off checks.
Left.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 1.5 tree. Check your altimeter set 2.9er. Oh, I didn't correct my altimeter. Hold 1.
Left, same.
Check your altimeter set 2.890 for a corrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your burr warning 0. Check your FCS 12. 30, 30, 30. Down 2. Check your fuel. CNR lights out.
Left.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smoke. Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are fairly calm. Hold on.
068 for 6.
I confirm them. Yeah, they are out of the east. 068 for 8.
8?
That's 8 knots. Check your altimeter set 2992 for, or check your altimeter 2992 for a corrected altimeter of 2890 for a center point elevation of 250 feet above ground level and a density altitude of 240 feet above sea level. Chariot squawk 1205, level squawk 1206. You're cleared to taxi left out of chocks, right on Alpha, right to back taxi 28. Turn around, hold short, or rather, line up and wait 10.
Thanks, Lab. Clear to taxi. Back taxi 28. Hold short. Line up and wait 10.
Lab.
Souls are cleared to taxi. Check parker brakes off. Chair sprang up to 75% off. Brakes now. Coming left.
I was rolling.
And Chariot's coming right. Give me 2 on the right wing. Chariot's ease the power to 68 and let it roll. Soul switching 8, com 1. Chariot's up 8, com 1.
What's up, 8, com 1?
Ready, split. Reference 25 knot cover wagon.
Lab.
I've got a definite fixed foveated ring.
Interesting.
BrotherLeb detach.
Was down.
Little brakes, easy brakes, little brakes, off, brakes now. Coming right, okay. Little brakes, easy brakes, little brakes, brakes. Solos were cleared for takeoff. Check our parker brakes off. Maneuver our section takeoff maneuver. Check our parker brakes off. Let's roll up. Very distracting. We're going to ignore it.
Off, brakes now. Blowers ready now. Blowers ready now.
See ya. Dang it.
Ready, hit it.
Sure, sir.
Wings level, smoke on, blowers ready now.
That's on me.
Smoke on. Clear.
Church clear 2 miles.
Low clear, point to.
Gear up, flaps up, takeoff checks complete.
3.5 mark. 4 miles.
Let me know when you're beam.
A beam.
Let me know when you're ready to take a break.
Good, take it.
Stand by, mark it.
miles, Mark 401, little angle.
Chariot's in for the right knife edge.
What's it right now, it? 3 miles, Mark 403.
On time.
Two miles, Mark 4.
A little early. Swag on.
Contact.
Swag off. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Trace clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 1.8 mark.
Matt.
Alright. We're gonna adjust this because we have time. Come on. Right about there.
4 miles, Mark.
Let me know on your beam.
A beam.
Let me know, take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it. We're slow, but that's okay.
4 miles, Mark 370.
Chart's in for the left inverted.
Other than that, 3 miles, Mark 401.
Way behind. Alright.
2 miles, Mark 400.
Ready, hit it. Swag on.
Contact.
Looking good. A little drive. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll. And pull. 0.5.
Whip.
Stand by, roll. Chase clear and clear behind the crowd for the Fortis. Come off, Took's coming down.
Contact.
370, using lots of power. 350. 330. Ease the bull. Rolling out 315. Souls behind the crowd, setting up the Fortis. Checking the lights on. 300.
You'll have.
Chariot. Adding power 395. 295, rather. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the gear. Adding power. Power's it. Easing a little power. Easing some pull. Easing more power. Easing the pull. Rolling out. The Fortis. Little inboard outboard. Chariot's rolling in.
Clear.
Little inboard. Low. Center point. Chariot's pushing out. Rolling out.
Clear.
Coming back left. Set. Stand by the gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Cheers clear, and clear behind the crowd for the MRT, state 90.
State 8.
Something feels weird on this jet. Chariot circling 5 miles for the MRT. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Four miles, mark 353, a little angle. Three miles, mark 347, a little angle. Two miles, mark 348, online. Get down. 1.5 MRT. 1 mile, mark 348. Burners now. Ready, hit it! Fast entry.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Ease in the pull. Comes the pull. Pulling and kicking. Chariot's pushing out. Leveling out 900. Coming right. Comes the pull.
Contact.
Ease of the pull. Rolling out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing power 330. Little pull. 345. Easing a little power 360. Souls on the ground, setting up the opposing MRT.
You'll have to.
Sure. Easing more power. Coming right. Comes the pull. Go for 185. Ease in the pull and rolling out the opposing MRT. 5 left. Coming a little left. Rolling out. A little pull to level. Smoke on.
On it. Little drop. Power set. We're high.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Match.
Numbers.
11. Contact.
Looking for setpoint, lab.
11.
Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll. 1, 2, 3. Roll. Roll. Trace clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal roll. 2.5 mark.
218.
Reading my fuel.
And 4 miles.
Let me know on your beam.
A beam.
Let me know, take a mark.
Go take it.
Stand by, mark it. Let's go now.
4 miles, mark 410.
Charts in for the left horizontals.
Doesn't have horsepower.
Standard clears.
Standard. 3 miles, mark 400.
Little early.
Two miles, mark 400.
Late. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact. A little pull. Ready, hit it!
All right, all right.
Burners, pull! 80. There we go. Stand by, roll. Burners, pull! Ease in the pull. And roll it out, 7.3.
Sub 6.
Chariot's coming right, and circle around the crowd for the sneak to vertical roll, state 7.3.
Let's say 7.5.
Altimeter's different, flame feels different.
Yeah, a little wobbly.
Yeah, and if you don't yug, the thing doesn't roll. I learned that in the what is it, the opposing MRT. Yeah, the thing does feel a little warbly, though. Chariot circling 5 miles for the sneak to vertical rolls. And Chariot's turning 5 miles, 60 vertical rolls on the runway.
Left.
Four miles, Mark Plan 74.
Little late.
3 miles, Mark Plan 82.
On the burgers.
Pull up, pull up.
2 miles, 1.86.
On time.
1 mile, Mark 89, full burn.
Smoke on.
Share 96.
Ready. Hit it.
Whoa, what
Stand
was
by.
that? That was really weird.
10,000 clouds. No factor.
Clouds factor, Asher clear.
Ceiling at 12.
Chariot circling 3.5 for the solo loop. And Chariot's turning in 3.5 solo loop.
Let's clear 15.
Chariot. Wings level, smoke on. Up. We go a little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Little more pull. Winds aloft are hefty. Blowing towards the crowd. Vertical 6-0. Easing power. Easing more power. A little ease. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Crowd violation. Can't your thing outboard for the loop break cross? Outboard by like half mile. Ease the pull.
Copy.
Go Diamond Stinger. And I mean it like half mile. It's bad up there. Adding power. Smoke off. Chariot attach. Chariot attach, boss. Luminary on your beam.
A beam.
Luminary, take mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
4 miles. Mark 390.
Chariot's in for the right 4 point.
That's the right 4 point. Gonna be a little slow.
You're fine.
3 miles. Mark 415.
Half mile ahead.
Two miles. Mark 420 online.
Half mile ahead. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact. Ready, hit it. 1, 2.
All right, all right.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Smoke off. Chariot's clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch, 2.2 mark.
Match. Four miles. Mark.
Let me know when you're beam.
A beam.
Let me know when you're take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles. Mark 405.
Chariot's in for the left vertical pitch.
Left recruit.
100.
100. 3 miles. Mark 402. Two miles. Mark 4.
Damn. Alright. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact. Add it up. Ready, hit it. To right. 60. Stand by, roll, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 7830.
73.
A little more pull.
500 low.
1.5, Mark 415.
4-1 head.
1 mile, Mark 405.
On top.
Half mile, Mark 395, adding power, a little pull, ready, hit it.
Roll left, roll left.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chariot's clear, and clear behind the crowd for the inverted tug over roll.
Coming left. 360. Easel.
Contact.
Little pole. 355. There's 350. Ease in the pole. And rolling out.
They'll have to look.
Left. Soldiers behind the crowd setting up the inverted tug of roll.
Chariot.
We're coming left. Coming further left comes the pole, adding power further left. A little more pull. So the 90 for the vertical roll.
Chariot.
Ease in the pull. And rolling out the vertical roll.
Chariot.
Easing a little power. Up we go. Ready, hit it. Level.
Smoke on.
Little drive to level. A little drive. Ready. Clear.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Inside, high.
Contact.
Ease and rolling out. Coming left 340. 350. 360. 370. Easing power. 375.
You got you.
380. Left. Easing more power. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. Soldiers behind the crowd setting up the section alpha.
Chariot.
Little pull to level. Wings are level, easing it off. Little power. We're coming left, coming further left, easing the power. Comes the pull, a little more pull. Stand by the boards. A little further left, a little more pull. So the 90 setting up the section high, Alpha.
Chariot.
A little more pull. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. Stand by the boards. Boards setting up a little up. 200, easing power. Little pull, we're low. 190. 180, a little more pull. 175. 170. A little more pull. 160, we're 155. 150, a little more pull. 145. 140, pull into the set. Adding a little power. And we're setting it. A little more power. Smoke on. Tracking a little bit towards ground.
Center point. Knock it off.
Left. Pull on the 60. Coming left.
Jerry's breaking left. 250.
Contact.
280. 295. Easing some pull, easing power. 305. Easing more pull, rolling out some bank. 315. 330. 345, easing power to hold. 350, easing the pull, rolling out. Souls around the crowd, setting up the wander inboard at 1.5.
Lab, you'll have to check.
Chariot 360. Yeah, we're in close by half a mile. It's going to be a nasty turn.
Eugene.
Coming left comes the pull. Easing some pull, rolling out some bank. Easing the pull, rolling out the Wonder 2.5. Go on rest.
Lab.
Easing power, smoke on. A little pull to level 1 mile mark. Half mile mark. Ready, hit it. Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull.
Contact.
Ease of the pull. Rolling out. Easing power. A little pull. 360.
Contact.
Easing more power. 360. Delta's behind the crowd, setting up the Delta roll. Chariot 4-5.
Look for it. You got 2.
Chariot. Good luck. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. We're at the 90 for the Delta roll. Ease in some pull. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. The Delta roll. Smoke on. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Rolling out. A little pull. Coming back left. Coming further left. Comes the pull.
Clear's right.
A little more pull. We're left-hand turn for Fleur-Lee.
Lab.
Adding power. Smoke off. Coming further left. A little more pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. The Fleur-Lee leopard.
Lab.
We're high. We go a little more pull. Smoke on. Ready break. Smoke off. Stand by, roll. And pull. Contact.
Easel and rolling out.
Coming right. Cross your nose, 465. Now easing power to hold. 470. 460. Adding a little power. 455 coming further right. Comes the pull.
Got 2.
Smoke on. Ease in the paw. Rolling out. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Set. Okay. Set. Soak off. Go get him.
Lab is clear.
Sure, sir. Conic.
Rolling out 2,350, adding a little power. 37. We're coming right, 380, coming further right. Comes the pull, a little more more pull, 385. A little more pull. Delta's at the, in our right-hand turn for the loop right across Boss 150.
Chariot 300.
Ease in the pull and rolling out the loop across.
Chariot, you got 6 boss.
Boss, we're setting up outboard.
Yay.
A little pull to level, easing, correction, adding power, a little bit high, low.
God.
Little drive, adding a little more power. We are setting up half a mile outboard and we're 200 low. Up we go a little more. Pull. Vertical 6.5. A little ease. Comes the pull. Ease a little power. Ready, break. Point 2 inboard and 2 left. Smoke up. 0.5. Mark 450 on the brakes. 1 mile, mark 410. 1.5, mark 400. 2 miles, mark 400. 2.5, mark 400. Okay. 3 miles, mark up. We go for G mark. Vertical 4-6. 8 alpha. Horizon now 7-7. Power's idle. 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. Rolling it. Little steep. And leveling those 3 miles. Mark. .5, mark 408. 2 miles, mark 395. 0.5, mark 400. A 1 mile, mark 402. 0.5, mark 400. Smoke. Pop.
A little late.
Clear.
Sure, sir.
Coming left, 390.
3-1. Got plenty of fuel.
370. 350. We're gonna aim for 340.
Connect.
There's 340 adding hard catch. For ease in the pull. And rolling out. 345. And we're coming back left. Coming a little further left. Comes the pull. Easing a little power.
You got 6 boss.
Boss. Delta's in a left-hand turn for the Delta breakout.
Chariot.
A little further left comes the pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out, smoke on. It'll be a left turn now.
Chariot left turn out.
Ease and a little pull, little drive. We're set about 10 left. Coming a little right for lineup. Adding a little power. clear.
Chariot's clear. 1400, 285, 000. It's going to be a right turnout.
Right turn out.
You okay to continue?
Continue.
Chariot. 320, easing some power. And we're coming right. Comes the pull for the climb. Watch the mountain.
Contact.
340. Easing some pull. 340. 330. I just got wake turbulence off of that hill. 4 miles mark, 330.
Yeah, I noticed that. For the MRT.
345.
You got
Boss. They didn't say it. Talk about that. Easing power, 360.
They've talked about having environmental winds for a while, though.
Easing more power, 370. Coming further right, watch the texture. Smoke on. Easing lots of power, 390. Comes the pull. Easing the pull and rolling out. The left pitch brake to land.
Leopard.
Adding power, a little drive. 1 mile mark. 3 slow. Center right, boss braking.
Left.
Easeable. Rolling out, 120.
120.
Smoke off. Gear flaps. Chariot's coming left. Chariot's gear down, flaps down, hook up.
Let's get down 5-7, hook up Puerto.
Chariot's at the 90. Gear down, 3 green. Stagger is left.
Second left.
Update winds are 06848, 250, 240. Lap. 220 lab.
Left.
200 lab, very fast. 160 lab. 140 all the way lab, middle bars.
It was a 180, a little overshoot. 150. 140 all the way.
Sure, it's okay. That was sketch.
That's okay.
Comes up quick.
That's okay, check.
Chariot, landing checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure off. Check your chabs. Check your flaps auto. Check your landing lights off. Reset your trim and safe your seat.
Flip.
We'll go well clear on alpha for individual right 45s and a chocks.
Left.
Check your parking brakes off. Chariot's powering up to 73%. Off brakes now. Stand by cover wagon.
Left.
Coming right. Give me 2 on the right wing.
15.
Nice flight lab.
Nice flight, check.
Feels good when nothing explodes.
Yeah. Slow as rainbow.
Ready, split. Reference 25 knock over wagon. That texture, that explains so much. I can adjust my mental game for that, but I didn't know it existed until we flew over that mountain.
Yeah, a little thermal over the edge.
That was cool!
Yeah, it's cool. It's in there. Yeah, I noticed it when I was coming down for the MRT.
Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Off brakes now. Come in. Left go all clear.
Left.
Down to power 68 and let it roll. Alright. Got 005, 45 and that's 5050. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes off brakes now. Coming right. Okay, 050.
Left.
Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Stand by. Canopy and engines.
Left.
And 3, 2, 1, mark. That is a show. Alright, coming out from under the head. BrotherLeb, you got me? Well, I dropped 38,000 frames this show. Yeah. Yeah, not great. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Well, it could be, I mean, it could also just, it could also be the load from the new update, but I highly doubt that. Yeah. Alright, well, things to adjust after the holidays. But I will say that it didn't affect my location in Sim, so yeah. I'm sure it's a stuttery mess on the stream, though. Well, yeah. Like I said, it is what it is. Part of me thinks that I should just record this locally and then upload it. I don't know how big that would be, though. I'd have to, like... yeah, that'd be... It would be no worse than what I'm doing now. It wouldn't load up the computer anymore, because it's the same thing. And that way we could actually still watch our stuff. You know? I might have to switch to doing that, because the idea of this stream is, like, for our log, right? Oh. No one can hear you. Let's fix
that idea. We can't interact with chat that way, but we don't usually.
Well, we're
the
flying.
people who do drop in it's really cool to talk to those folks. So all of you people who do that, however many of you,
Yeah.
which is not many, but hey, we appreciate every single one.
We do,
because you remind us that we exist.
Yeah.
And we do this for us. We want to be straight up about that. We do this for us. But it's nice to be appreciated.
Yeah. And I also want to be straightforward with you. The only reason I'm considering this is because you're not getting a good stream experience. And we think that your experience of viewing this will be better through a video form than through the live stream. So... at least for the time being, until I can get Spectrum out to fix this. But my internet's been spotty all day. Not spotty, but it's just been a little hitchy. But anyway, let's get into the debrief, shall we? Yeah, there was a show at Puerto Natales, post-patch. As far as major safeties are concerned, I did not experience any on my side. How about you?
No.
Okay.
No major safeties.
All right, let's get into the formal debrief then. Starting with the taxi out, that all felt fine. I've got no notes for that.
Yeah, same, no notes. Little tweaks, but nothing major.
Dear roll and takeoff, I'll take a safety here. I left my flaps in half, so it's not going to look like it's supposed to, and my roll took forever, so that could cause a conflict with our two jets, but I'm always making sure that we're clear before you make your maneuver, so no like conflict possibility, but it was not the maneuver as advertised, so I'll take a safety there.
Yeah, I was just kind of wobbly, and then my pull had some left stick in it, so I had to correct the lineup over the top, which is just not where I want to be. Altitude was good. Rest of it was pretty good.
All right. Posing knife edge. This one felt fine. Aside from the fact that all of my rolls for the first half of the show were complete trash. As far as like getting on profile and trying to make the hit and everything, I've got no notes there.
Yeah, I'd echo the rolls. Mostly the rolls for the clears were pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no notes for this maneuver.
Cool. Inverted to inverted. This one felt good. Felt like there was more bite in the aircraft inverted this time around. The weather completely changed from last time, so it felt very different.
Oh yeah, I did actually change the weather preset. I didn't change the winds though, just the clouds.
Interesting, because I thought that we were calm last time, or like 4. I'd have to go back and look at the stream, but regardless.
Yeah, it may have been. I think it probably was more calm, but it was interesting to deal with the different weather.
Yeah, I mean, not complaining. It was just different. Yeah, so this maneuver felt good. I didn't quite complete the roll before putting the drive in to get the nose back up. So that's going to look not super snappy. But aside from that, no further notes.
Yeah, my roll-in was pretty sloppy, so it was just like wobbly, getting inverted, and then I was too high on the hit. I think because I'm coming down over that hill, I start out a little higher than you do, and then I just, like, you put in the drive, and at least based on the side picture I was getting there, I shouldn't have put in anything, because I was high. Rollouts were good, and no further notes.
Cool. All right, the Fortis. With the new weather conditions, everything about this was completely different. So it was trial by fire, and lineup was a little bit inboard to outboard, which I kind of saw in the middle of the turn, but I didn't want to let out all the pole. So we just kind of lived with the setup as it was. I got inverted, and I said we were low, but we were actually a little high. So that's I'll take that. Whatever picture wrongness is in this, I'll take that for this in this show site. I was so focused on getting the VSI stable that I did notice I had a little bit of roll still left in the aircraft, so I was able to fix that by about quarter mile to make sure I wasn't walking into you anymore. That is a safety that I will fix for next time. The clears were good. No further notes.
Yeah, I didn't quite hide the jet. I was just kind of in the wrong spot, and then couldn't figure out where the field was. And I was having that problem throughout this entire show. It's just like hard to spot where the field is in this show site. For when I was leading maneuvers too, the same thing. So the rollout was good. I was able to get a beam pretty well. The major note I would have is I didn't match your bank angle, like the speed you got to the bank on the rollout. I was fast and you were slower than I was, so I need to catch that a little better. No further notes.
All right, MRT. This one felt actually really, really good. With one exception, I overrolled my entry, so I dropped a lot of altitude to start the maneuver. Was able to arrest that and stay safe, and the jet felt really good on the pull up and turbo nose low, and the clear behind crowd. I was trying to fix the problem that I had from last time, where I yanked it too hard, but I went the other direction this time. So it'll be somewhere in between those two, hopefully for next time. And I'll fix those for next time. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. Yep. I was a little early coming to the hit, and normally I add up power, but I just held what I got, and it actually worked out. It's probably going to look like I'm a little early still, but sorry, a little late, I guess, based on, I don't know. I don't think it's going to look quite right, but like I was dead where I should be.
Mm-hmm.
The turn was funny. I was like turning into you. I was like, I think I had a little more pull, a little more bank or something. So I had to correct that midway as I was flying visual. But then when I checked the lineup when I rolled out, I was kind of a little bit wide, so the rejoin got a little funky. But fortunately, you came right before it became a problem. No further notes.
Alrighty. That takes us on to the opposing Minimaria's turn. Lineup for this one felt better aside from the five left. And we were at a good altitude. More or less by the time the handoff happened. It took me a little bit longer to get saddled, and took me about until we got to smoke off, so it's not going to look super great coming over the crowd. And I just didn't yug enough, so the jet was super wallowy on that roll, so that sucked. But yeah, the rest of the maneuver felt good. Our bank angles and speeds were good to center points, and clears were good. No further notes.
I was just looking at the attack view, and I have a question, but we'll see. I'll save it for the tape. Yeah, this I got in around the corner and was in, and I felt like I was dead abeam and on altitude once we got once you handed lead to me, which I'm almost never there. I'm usually behind you or low or something. Maybe just a hair behind, but like pretty good. I did realize that I was just a little bit low right before you handed lead, and I could tell you were about to, so I was coming up to your level, and then when you handed lead to me, I just held it, but then that was what I was nose high, so I had to put a little bit of drive in. So I will try not to do that for the future. That's not helpful for your getting in. I actually was just a little bit slow and not quite enough pull on the onset as per usual. So like I pulled hard and then I got like way under speed, but I think that's because I'm pulling a bunch of power out and you probably add it back up to get back up to me when you fall back. So I think it's a power setting thing as much as it's a like stick pull thing, which is why we've been in weird spots before. But I was able to get on the numbers and then we made pretty good circles. And looking at the tack view, I think the hit is about 2 left, but not bad.
Yeah, that felt that way.
I was high on the hit too. I need to correct that. So no further notes.
Cool. Yeah, just for reference, I'm gonna be coming down to I come down until about the half-mile mark, and then I try and level it out wherever I've got whatever I've got.
Okay.
To give you some time to set up lower than me. And my goal altitude for that is 250.
Yeah, as long as you just get stable by the time we're like the last 45 degrees of the circle. Yeah, I can do that. I was so focused on trying to get in the right spot, and like I was worried that I was late. Mm-hmm. Which is, I think, why I ended up being 2 left, is because I was worried about that, and so I added some power in. Mm-hmm. And so I just wasn't thinking about the altitude. So much so that, like, when we were just debriefing, I didn't even think about it either. Yep. So I was just, like, happened to be looking, I was like, oh, I'm also high. So that's something I just need to be more aware of.
Yeah.
Oh, well, weird.
Dude, stream is... I took a look. It's nearly unwatchable. All right. Oh, God. I'm probably gonna cut it after this because it's just not worth it.
Sure.
I don't think it's providing that much value.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
All right, horizontal
I wanted
rolls.
to see this one.
I know, dude.
Alright.
I think I'm gonna record. I think I'm probably just gonna switch to recording until I can get Spectrum out here. But anyway, posing horizontal rolls these felt good. All things considered. Don't really have any notes.
Yeah, coming in from this direction, I could see you really easily, so I felt like we were really close on the hit, like laterally, which is good. And I was able to get, bang on altitude. So this one felt really good. No further notes.
Awesome. Sneak pass.
Oh, one note actually.
Okay.
I got all fumbly on the rollout. So I rolled out, and then you were like, smoke off blowers ready now, or blowers popper. I can't remember the call you give for that, but like I started doing something that was wrong, and then you gave the call, and I was like, oh right, that's what this is. And so that's just something that I need to be. I was not ahead of the jet. I think I was happy, like kind of debriefing the hit in my head, and I just yeah. So anyway, I will be more focused on that in the future.
Cool. Sneak pass. This was great on my end. I avoided that hill and came right down in over the runway, got nice and low for center point hits, and was bang on the numbers, both altitude and airspeed. So this was a good one. The rolls behind crowd made it even more evident that ED's made some adjustments to atmospherics. Because I was very confused as to the behavior of the jet behind the crowd. And if the stream was any good, I mean, you could still hear me talk about it. I was like, what was that? But aside from that, like, it was a good maneuver and over the notes.
Yeah, I was so sure I was going to be late for this guy. I added up power, got up to 0.97 Mach, I think, on the way in, and then pulled some power as we were coming over. But I actually ended up, the timing was like perfect, if even a little early. So that was good. Clear wasn't the best, but it was behind clouds, so it didn't really matter. No further notes.
All right. Ladder breast loop. There was a lot going on. I was thinking about the what became known later as the atmospherics, and got pushed. Like, there's like a 20 knot wind at like 5,000 or something that blows you over the crowd. It's coming from a completely different direction than on the ground. So that caught me by surprise, and I crowd violated pretty heftily here. But I relayed all that to you, and that kept us from crowd violating for the loop break cross. So learning experiences. On to the opposing 4 points. Yeah, as we were coming in, I must have stepped on you when you called your angle. So I ended up half a mile ahead and just could not solve it. Coming into the box. So that's why we were inverted for so long. I'm sure the hit's going to be like 20 right. And then my clears were also trash. So I'll take the blame on stepping on you, and if I were to hurt you, I would have been able to adjust the horizontal spacing. So that's on me. I'll fix that for next time. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I said I was going to be late. I think is what you probably stepped on.
I heard that one, but that was after 4 miles. There was something you said at the 4 mile hit after you said your speed that I stepped on.
Okay, yeah. There was angle in it, and I knew I was going to be late. So yeah, I got to take a portion of the blame because I was like kind of outside of where I normally am, and so you got to the point where you go Diamond Stinger and Chariot detach earlier than I was ready for. So, I added up speed, but then because of the angle I was flying, which was basically dead away from crowd, I was actually basically at the 4 mile mark when you called it, like, let me know when you're a beam. I was like 4.2, and then take your mark. I was at 4 miles, but I was like way behind crowd at that point. So I was like, this could still work. But it didn't end up working, and I made some corrections to try to make it work, and they ended up being bad. So I was just really late. Like the time between the 4 mile call and the 3 mile call was a lot longer than normal. So I think that made it difficult. And then I was trying to give you room by adding more power and coming in faster to the box, but it didn't matter. I never made up any ground on you, and you were just a half mile ahead the whole way. But that also meant that I was doing 480 once we did the maneuver, so my profile's all over the place. The jet just performs way different at 480 than it does at 400.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just kind of a mess all over the place. I'll be in the right spot at the right time. That's my job as a wingman. So sorry for that. This is a safety I'll take, and I'll fix it for next time. Glad to be here.
Yeah, another safety I'll take is when we're that far off, I should just call no maneuver. And we should have just flat passed it and gone and set up for the next maneuver. So that's on me as a lead, and I'll fix that for next time as well. Because half a mile at 2 miles is unfixable. So, alright, let's move on to the vertical pitch. This one actually felt good. Hit was like 2 right. I think the altitude adjustment made it way easier to be on. Roll over the top was fine, and you were low for the first time like in months. But we were able to fix it and did a pretty good hit at center near. I'm not sure where it was. The center probably interested to see the tape for that.
Probably 1 left, maybe 2.
But
2 left, yeah.
roll behind crowd was good. No further notes.
Yeah, I was pegging the numbers on the inbound, so when we didn't quite get the hit, that kind of got in my head. So I was a little like out of sorts, which is probably why I was a little low over the top. And then come in for the hit. There was a point where we're like 0.5 miles. I called on time, and you said adding power, and I was like, why? But the hit worked out. And the rest of it was fine. No further notes.
Yeah, I could tell you why. It's because I was at 390 and dropping. If I didn't add power, the hit would have you were on time. If I was on parameters, and I wasn't.
Yeah, but my request, I guess, would be don't tell me that. I don't need to know.
That's fair.
If it doesn't matter to me, then I'm just well, why? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't a matter of I don't want that information if I should know it. But if it's just something that you're fixing on your end, you can say it in the jet. Just don't transmit it.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Inverted tug over roll. This one, surprisingly, felt pretty stinking good. I was in position by the time we rolled inverted. I was high, but your clear communication of the drive allowed me to get on the correct plane with you. But I think I am ahead because of where we have historically done the hit. I was setting up to have my jet alongside yours at that point, but you correctly adjusted your hit to be later, and so I'm ahead by half a jet by the time we do the hit. So I'm not going to be hidden in that direction, but I'll be interested to see if I'm hidden on plane. And if I am, then woo, awesome progress. The clears, I overrolled the knife edge by a fat margin. But I was able to. Your call about being high was fantastic. I was able to spot you immediately when I looked over my shoulder, and the clears were great. So I think that's progress. No further notes.
Yeah, this is probably one of the smoothest setups I've done for this mover in a long time. So enjoy. The roll inverted was also pretty smooth. It's going to be hard not to lose a little bit, get a little bit of the nozzle attitude on that rollout without completely throwing you off. And I will improve that, and I'm going to fix that, try to get better at it. But you can anticipate a little bit of drive once we get inverted.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
And I do.
Yeah.
So I tend to float high.
Yeah, there was going to be a little bit more. It didn't feel there was going to be a little bit more in this one, so I'm glad that I mentioned it. But I was trying to do it smoothly as much as possible. Yeah, and then I did do the hit at center point, which we had talked about, but I should have said something because it's been a minute. Slight overroll on the 270 hit, but it looks like you did this. Well, we rolled at the same bank angle, whether it's an overroll or not, but so that's good.
It's not.
Clear was pretty good. For once, I banked less than you did. It'll probably won't look like that in the track file, but yeah. And then yeah, I could tell I was going to be high based on the attitude of your jet, and so I'm glad I mentioned it. No further notes.
Cool. High alpha.
Yeah, high alpha. So all this is pretty solid. Setup was pretty good. I knew that there was a crosswind that was going to push us toward crowd, so I set up outboard. But then we were tracking on heading 09 or 3, and crowd left is 09 or 5,
Mm-hmm.
and I was worried about that. And so I said I was coming back right for lineup. Is this the new right of that, or maybe I didn't?
Nope.
Anyway, I didn't mean to like come a little bit toward you, but that's what ended up happening. So that's on me. It's a safety, and I'll fix it for next time. I should at least communicate it if I'm going to do it. Again, it wasn't an intentional thing, but it just kind of I ended up sort of sliding off toward you. The pull to the set and everything else was pretty smooth, pretty good, and I feel like we were safe relative to crowd. So no further notes there.
Yeah, this was
We're
a
pretty
good.
far outboard, but yeah.
This was a good one for me as well. I like that you let the jet sink a little bit as we came through 150 to 145 and pulling to the set. Because it meant that like we basically just used the jet as an air brake, which arrested our descent. So that it surprisingly made it way easier to stay on plane with you, which is fascinating because we've never done that before. It felt really cool. It was a weird feeling in the jet when that happened. So the set felt really like planted, which was kind of cool. And then the rest of the maneuver, yeah, the atmospherics. If that's all that's changed, it definitely makes the jet fly different. From like moment to moment, which is very realistic. But like, you know, I'm used to it being like in DCS when you fly, you have a set atmosphere and it is consistent 100% of like the area you fly in. Up to the altitude where it changes, and then it shears at that altitude. And today, it really felt like moment to moment, you're in different atmospheres as you were flying along, and that was cool. And this is when I started to wonder if that was what it was. As we were coming to center point, I got a little bit close to you at center point, and as we were headed crowd left, so I called off the maneuver a smidge early to make sure that we didn't conflict. So that's a safety I'll fix for next time, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Run it through me again on the hit. I want to be able to replicate it. So you liked that
The pull to the set? Yeah.
That we just
Yes.
let the jet fall a little bit?
Yeah, we were getting the altitude horn as you were saying pull to the set.
Okay.
So like letting the jet fall a little bit right before we pull to the set can arrest that float that we've had in the past.
Got it.
Okay, yeah. And that also affects what I need to do to stay on plane with you when we go to the set.
So it's going to be involved bringing less pull in as we're slowing down.
Yep.
There'll still be some, but just less of it, so that way we're kind of catching it as we pull. Okay, cool.
And if you need to catch it more, just add power. I'm right there with you.
I think one of the reasons why the DCS Blues and maybe the real guys wait all the way to 125 is because of that float.
Yep.
Which I did practice a little bit doing, which we could switch to that, but we just haven't briefed it. So.
Yeah, if you ever want to do that, just brief it. I'm more than happy to adjust.
If I don't make a note of it, I'll probably forget. So. Note of it.
All right, next up is the Wander. Yeah, we were in close, so it was a pretty big pull, and because we were in close, that pull it wasn't consistent because it couldn't really parabola it the way that you want to. We eased out a bunch, but we ended up being right on line or right on speed for and right on altitude for this maneuver by the time we did the hit. So, not stoked about being in that close and having to make those adjustments, so I'll fix that for next time, but I'm happy with the adjustments that were made to get us to parameters, and the maneuver felt good over the notes.
Yeah, I was a little tentative getting in because I was afraid I was going to overspeed, but it's really easy to manage throttle at this airfield, so we should not have worried. And then, yeah, the rollout felt real good. I was able to get on. I was a little high coming through the center point, but that probably works okay with the parallax. But I wanted to be right a beam, so I will fix that for next time. And yeah, clear's good. No further notes.
Awesome. Delta roll. This one was about as on. This is the most on parameters I think it's been in a hot minute. There was a little bit of wonkiness in the initial roll onset in the turn behind crowd, but we got up to like 2.1, 2.2 G and just set that all the way in. And then there's a little bit of ease before we did the full ease to the rollout, which I'm not stoked about, but that was to arrest some climb that was about to begin. And that actually set us up really well for this maneuver. So the up we go was a fairly steady rate, and then the roll was idealistic. It was an idyllic roll, right on parameters, right on altitudes, and meant that we were coming back left as we pulled through Horizon at 2 miles. So this was as by the books as it's gonna get for this maneuver.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of squadron flying yesterday. And so I was just sort of like, you know what? I'm not going to try and tuck in really close. I'm just going to fly comfortable, which is going to be close enough because most of the time we've been watching these. If I fly too close, there's PIO because every little thing you react to. I mean, also, it doesn't look like it's the right sight picture. Like, it doesn't look like the right formation from the ground. So I think I actually have been flying too close. So I was just like, I'm just going to fly comfortable, stay a little wider and a little than I normally do. And that helped. It took some pressure off, and I was able to stay in. I got a little sucked and a little bit of bank angle difference than yours, but I would say I was probably about as in as they typically get kind of toward the end of winter training, which is the best I've ever done by a country mile. And then I got PIO once you came left for the friggin' fleur-de-lis because I was excited. But yeah, so there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. I want to get this stuck in more, and it definitely helped. I could tell you were doing a good one, just because it felt smooth. You weren't having to correct a lot or communicate a lot. It's just like, all right, here we're here, which helped because that gave me confidence too. But yeah, good maneuver, no further notes.
Yeah, it was crazy as we were going through Horizon. I just caught out of the corner of my eye, that blue thing in the mirror isn't moving at all. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like I said, I got a little sucked because there was a point where I was kind of starting to climb over your wing, and I was like, don't do that. And so when I get like uncomfortable, I tend to pull a little power out instinctively, and that's what happened. And that's a particular part in the maneuver where you need to actually add a little to stay with the lead.
Yeah.
And so I caught it, but it was just like at that point I was just a little sucked for the rest of the maneuver.
All right, fleur-de-lis is next. I just need to practice this one multiple times, I think, just because I'm never in a good... I don't understand the sight picture and what needs to happen with what I'm seeing. And I'm getting pretty consistent on altitudes and bank angles and stuff like that through the turn, but then I always bring in too much pull and we end up outboard, and that happened again this time. So that is unfortunate, and I'll fix it for next time. Up we go is fine. The brake was fine, but I ended up way below you again. So I'll look into why that is happening. Pull behind the crowd was good. Kept it at a little bit more of an arc because we were further behind crowd than we usually are. But that meant that we had to have a ton of pull and then release a ton of pull to get online as we crossed center points. And because we had all that pull in, the up we go was fairly aggressive, and so were the rolls to the sets. But it spat us out in a pretty good position and a pretty good altitude. So overall, I think the adjustments made based upon the geometry that was provided once we rolled out behind the crowd from the fleur-de-lis were good, and I'll count this one as a C+.
Yeah, so I mentioned the PIO and the initial turn. The rest of the turn, I kind of got back in. It was fine. The rollout was one of my better, and I was able to be actually a beam of view going up the hill, which is very rare. Looking at the tack view, I did not drive as much as you did, is the reason why you were lower than me. Bank angles were comparable. I was maybe a little shallower, but you just you're full forward stick, and or closer to that than I was. Whatever. So I think that's probably where it is, and I can adjust that for next time for sure. So I'll fix that for next time. Glad to be here. Yeah, rollout was fine. I actually got in for the rejoin maneuver, which I haven't been in a while, and that felt really good to get in, as we were coming around the 90. And then this almost never happens in VR, but you were just right behind my canopy bow as we were coming over center point, and I was getting a little higher in the seat, getting a little lower in the seat, trying to look around it. And I'm I just can't quite see him as well as I need to be able to fly this maneuver. And it is a good thing I didn't get. I thought if I just get a little lower, then he'll get it right above it, and I could just kind of stick him there. But then my altitude warning went off. And I was okay, maybe not. We went up the hill, and I was just a little out on the whole thing. Not far, and it probably won't look too bad, but it's just I wasn't quite stuck in. So I will fix that for next time. Glad to be here. Loop break cross. So I did not clear with the way we've been doing, trying to clear at the same time. I just flew out of it and then cleared, which I think is probably the better way to go. It's smoother, and I have more time to kind of set everything up. And so came to the right, required quite a bit of pull, quite a bit of bank to get online, but we were able to set up just a little bit outboard, which was ideal. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot of it, but that's what we did. And we needed it because everything was more or less on parameters. We were about 200 low, and then up we go. I eased a little bit over the top, which was fine because we ended up being left anyway. So probably just a little late on the uphill is probably what that tells me. But yeah, even so, we broke just a hair inboard, even at setting up half a mile outboard.
Crazy.
So yeah, just a hair inboard, about 0.2 left. So definitely need to go up the hill a little earlier on this, and then yeah, just the winds pushed us way over there. And I tried to resist as much as I possibly could the temptation to roll just a little bit and get back towards center point. But there was just a hair of roll in that pull, the second half of that pull. So I'll fix that for next time. Glad to be here. Outbounds are kind of all over the place. Inbounds were better. But yeah, you made the hit work. No further notes.
Yeah, rejoin for this was very nice. The comms for declaring the maneuver and the rollout were a little complex. I'm not gonna say that they were bad, they were just complex. And so for some reason that extra mental load deteriorated my my form flying a little bit. Well, that's on me. I just need to filter a little bit better. The up we go was a very, very gentle onset, which I wasn't expecting, so I climbed over your wing a little bit. So that might be why we were so far left.
Yeah.
But the rest of the maneuver I was stuck right in, over the top. The brake was good. You called 0.5 mark and I was way behind, so I chucked a bunch of power in. Then you called 1 mile mark and I was way ahead, so I brought a bunch of power out and I was wrestling with it the rest of the way outbound. went up earlier than you, which meant that I was I awaited 4G until your call, which meant that I was much higher than you and further away. Um, but then I was ahead of you on the inbounds, so I had to bring a bunch of power out and put the brakes in, and ended up overcorrecting, which I have a tendency to do. So that I kind of knew that might be a problem, but I wasn't sure how to fix it necessarily. But I knew that I needed to bring power out to make the hit work, so I ended up hitting, about a second and a half late, which is a bummer. But yeah, that was it for that, and we can move on to the breakout.
Yeah, so Delta breakout, I decided since we tend to pick up speed, because I climbed just a little bit so I could sight the field, to bring a little bit of power out, so we were setting 340 instead of 350, and I think I'll probably do that. I like that, and give it a little more time, less bank. Hopefully it makes your rejoin easier, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really care. It's just that it definitely makes setting up this maneuver a little easier. We still set up pretty far left, and that was just because I chickened out and didn't roll out as fast as I needed to. I think if I'd rolled out as fast as I could have rolled out and put it on center line, it just felt like a really quick rollout that would kind of like crack the whip on you, and I didn't want to do it. So I just needed to be a little bit more ahead of the maneuver to do that. We did kind of do a correction to head back towards center point, which you've said as long as I'm clear that you can handle, and we just didn't get quite all the way back, so that's a bummer. The pull to the set was pretty good. I think I got there a little faster than you, but it's just hard to judge, and that's probably inconsistency on my part. And over there,
Yeah, rejoin was a little late. Well, I'm okay. Late would be past the 90, so it wasn't late. It was on time. Little earlier than late. And yeah, I was in the whole way around and through the rollout. I was expecting you to roll out faster, actually. So, do with that what you will. And yeah, the comeback right was not an issue. It didn't even really phase me at all. I was just so focused on being line abreast. I don't know. I just felt really locked in for this maneuver. And also, I was thinking about, he called left turnout. How am I going to correct this? Should I correct this? Should I just go left? And now all that was going through my head as I was flying line abreast, and so it was actually good line abreast flying because I was not stressing about it. Yeah, I ended up bringing in too much pull too early and not rolling quick enough for my breakout. So that's what happened there. Then that takes us to the Delta pitcher break to land. This was actually a really good one, all things considered. The climb over the mountain was good, and the ease of the pull to drop our nose down was good. Didn't have to make that many adjustments, just that final roll and pull back in towards the runway. And we rolled out a slight back to the left, but it was not enough that I felt the need to call it. It was just a minor adjustment that I felt like you could catch, and it looks like you did. We were about 150 high and 3 slow by the time we hit center point. I felt like that angle was good, but I was carrying way too much speed through the corner because I was worried about all the comms, so that's a safety, and I'll take that for next time. And then, so my landing was quarter of the way down the runway, which meant that I was on the brakes pretty hard. Also, with the winds the way they were, my landing was very wobbly on the brakes, so it was a little bit of a party to get it slowed down. But yeah, all things considered, that was a pretty decent maneuver.
Yeah, my only note is that I had a wing climb. Like I said, take it in, and then immediately started climbing over your wing. It was really weird. It felt like I didn't do anything different, and you just, like, settled, and I climbed, and I was like so mad. And I just held what I got. I didn't try and fix it. I just sort of like, all right, so I'm up by the sidewinder rail, but I'm not danger of hitting him. So I'm just gonna stay here. It's not where I want to be, so I will fix that for next time. But I was very mad about that. The rest of the thing was fine. You were carrying more speed, and I kind of realized it about the same time you did. which meant that I consequently was also carrying a little extra speed. So that's why I overshot. I think if I'd been on speed, I would have been fine. And yeah, I landed a little bit shorter of the than where you did, and that was good. Helped me slow down. No further notes.
Yeah, taxi back felt fine. Turned to the 45 felt good as well.
Yeah, my only note is I think I was a little too far. The separation was too far, and so we're just a little wide. I could be closer to you on that turn to the 45.
All right, folks. I've dropped 22,000 frames since we stopped flying, so I'm just gonna cut the stream here because this tape is not gonna mean anything to you. Because it's going to be a slideshow. So I'll reach out to Spectrum, but until then you can expect to see video upload versions of our remaining flights in the month of December. So sorry about that, but it's currently out of my hands, and I will attempt to fix it for the future. But have a good